I really do think that the run should be shorter.
I want to take you back to those 6 Olympics that you
It's a long one.
competed back to 76. But if Gordon Brown, or the equivalent of Gordon Brown, the British Prime Minister at the time, at any point had effectively snubbed the opening ceremony as a British athlete, an athlete competing for the Great Britain team, how would you have felt?
I would have felt a little bit peculiar, in a way, because we as sportsmen, as I say, have been training for such a long time. You know, it took me 12 years before I won my Olympic gold medal, and that was blood, sweat, tears. You know, my coach, you know, no one sort of come in and say, apart from those people around me, my family say, hey, Tessa, here you go, you know what? And I think if the Prime Minister had snubbed that, I think it would be probably saying that we are snubbing, you know, the Olympics again as sportsmen. I don't think the decision really is any one person to make from a political point of view. I think it should be an athlete's decision, totally, a sportsman's decision. I mean, of course, if they, like I said, if there is going to be sort of things that makes the world sort of shock, like violence and all this, pertaining to that, then I think, you know, us sportsmen would stand back and say, my God, you know, well, let's really look and see what's going on here.
Tess, there's been a long history of protest. In fact, it's actually quite rare for the Games to pass off without controversy. You competed in 1980 when the US actually boycotted the Games, as did 64 other countries. Yeah. How did that feel? Again, as a sports person, how did it feel to be competing in an event which you trained so hard for, only for it to be overshadowed by what was going on politically? And let's remember, this was Afghanistan we were talking about at the time.
Yeah. Well, at the start, Margaret Thatcher then did say to us, you're not going to the Games. And the moment they said that, the athletes and sportsmen just went bang, no, you're not telling us. We are going to do. We have put in so much time. It's not just time. We've worked hard. We've trained hard. You know, it's something that we live for. This might change our lives totally, because in those days as well, remember, there wasn't a lot of sponsorship. We were fighting for jobs, and we're trying to sort of make sure that we could earn a living. Well, a lot of people were sitting up there, you know, and thinking, well, you know, we're okay, duck. We're in our sort of glass house and everything's fine. But we then felt, no, we've got to go. We've got to go, because this is something we want to do. This is something this is our job. This is our life. And I'll give you another example. I was with Sergei Bobka, the greatest pole vaulter, I think, you know, in my lifetime of track and field, and who competed for the Soviet Union and now Ukraine. And the thing is, I was with him last week, and he missed the 84 Olympic Games, but he came back and won the 88. And do you know what he said to the young members of the Newham Academy I was talking to? He said that was one of the worst decisions that he's ever endured in sport. You know, and he's a person that, you know, has been through all this at the height of his career. It's very hard for a sportsman competing at that level, you know, not to have feelings or not to sort of want to do and compete at the highest level that you have trained for.